Why does everything look so huge?
Asking why everything is so large when in reality you've been shrunk cliché.
Oh no! They made a monkey out of me!
Okay, the robot Monkey Tristan is pretty cute, but at the same time it's just way too freaking goofy, so -1 sin for the cuteness will clash with the +1 for the goofiness, so net 0. However, I will be adding one more additional sin for them not only making a monkey out of Tristan here in Duel Monsters, but also here in Duel Links with his voice lines for Acrobat Monkey.
Acrobat Monkey!
We just have to find him before they take control of his body.
Oh, and you don't think that Nesbit instant transmission using some virtual reality bullshit, or at the very least ran very fast to go and do just that by now, Yugi? Some genius. And the first thing Nesbit does with his new body is immediately try to break his own legs trying to run and jump across buildings, and even trying to do some phony air assassination Ezio Auditore style, but with a wooden sword.
Look, Seto, it's Tristan! Finally, a friendly face.
Yep, super friendly. I mean, don't you just feel that warm and fuzzy feeling when Tristan gives you this "I will kill you and eat your children" face? And don't you act like it's not comforting either. And Kaiba whips out his favorite means of self-defense, throwing a card. And as preposterous as throwing a card at somebody for defending yourself may seem, keep in mind that Kaiba stopped the hammer of a revolver in the manga right when someone was about to shoot him in the head. So yeah, Kaiba's definitely a badass here and there. But sadly, the praise will stop there, because why did Kaiba choose to throw his Blue Eyes White Dragon card? He should have thrown a lame card, not his 1 of 3 in the entire world ace card. I mean, even in the sub, this card was just a blank. Tristan's ear is always this wide.
Why don't you kids run along?
Wait a sec! You're not Tristan, you phony!
What are you talking about?
Joey fails to hear the obvious difference in Tristan's voice.
Goodbye.
Monkey Ex Machina. Joey's about to join the fight against Nesbit, but instead of doing a war cry or just even saying something remotely badass, he decides to enter the fray with,
This is getting too weird. Take that!
Joey! It's still his body!
come on, at least give credit where credit is due, because that kick had some serious power to send Nesbit flying through a wall.
Pardon me!
Random motorcycle inside this wall he got kicked through for some reason. Mokuba just got grabbed. Why is he just sitting there, accepting his fate and not even squirming to get off?
Prodigy, come on. You've been doing this show for how long again? You should know by now that the answers to things that make absolutely zero sense always lie in the sub.
The sub, you say? Alright, well, let's take a look. Holy shit! Okay, now I've got my random motorcycle too. I'm coming, Mokuba! I wonder, what if we dueled on one of these? Looks like I've got a new $1 million idea to run by my new board of directors later.
I don't trust this little rat.
He's a monkey, and how dangerous can he really be?
Serenity is unaware that a monkey is actually very strong and can literally flip out and rip a person's face off.
Maybe we should just take this guy apart.
Yeah, we could unscrew his head and take out his batteries.
It's almost as if Duke and Joey know that this is Tristan and are saying all this stuff deliberately to screw with him. And honestly, it wouldn't be that hard to deduce that this is actually Tristan, because they even gave this monkey his original hairstyle. And if they did this on purpose, that actually begs the question, what if Yugi or anyone else lost the Big Five? Would they also have a pre-made monkey body prepared for them with appropriately styled hair? Some bullshit.
Hey, you, get out of the road!
Seto Kaiba is f***ing dead. Rest in peace. And for no reason at all, they have Kaiba yell this, despite the fact that they didn't even reveal that Leichter's even up ahead yet. And to be frank, or even to be Chuck, even if they did reveal that Leichter was indeed up ahead, how massive do your cajones have to be in order for you to yell,
Hey, you, get out of the road!
to this thing? Because this guy looks like Mr. X. You would not be yelling at this guy to get out of the road like he's a minor inconvenience. You'd be trying to drive in the opposite direction. Evil laugh cliche.
I've taken Seto's brother.
I can see that, but why have you taken him?
When I worked for Kaiba Corp, Seto took everything from me, so this is payback.
That wasn't part of the deal, Nesbit. You've broken my rules.
Even Noah thinks that this drive-by kidnapping that Nesbit performed a little bit ago was unnecessary. And maybe Noah should take a moment right now to stop and think that these old men may not be fully respecting him and his rules is probably because he's a child.
Hand the boy to me.
What was that reaction from Nesbit? Is he genuinely sad he won't get to keep Mokuba for some reason? Villain reveals himself by walking out of the shadows cliche.
Do you have any idea who you're dealing with?
Well, now I do. It took me a minute, but I recognize your voice.
Leichter.
And luckily Leichter has the most identifiable voice of the big five. And it honestly perplexes me why they opted to give him some country twang. It doesn't even fit him. I swear, if they did this because he's black. And on a side note, Leichter's original name is Kogoro Daimon, which Spartan117 thinks sounds more menacing than his dub version, and I actually agree with that, because Leichter sounds like someone tried to say the word lecture, but screwed it up.
Choose a monster to act as your deck master.
This is a no-brainer, Leichter.
Well, if it's really a no-brainer, then he's probably gonna pick the Blue Eyes White Dragon.
I choose Lord of Dragons!
I have been tricked. You jerk.
Already taken the form of my deck master. Can you tell which monster I've become?
No, and quite frankly, I don't care, Leichter.
Let's see, this is like the card guessing game on my Discord server. Okay, I'm gonna gamble 100 star chips on this one. Okay, which monster is Leichter? Ah, big masked trench coat freak. I mean, that is what it is. I'm taking my star chips. Also, on the subject of Leichter's mask, he's apparently time-traveled and stole Yuto's mask and goggles for this attempt to disguise the fact that he's Jinzo. Kaiba thinking he's cool, copying Yugi's fist pose from Duelist Kingdom.
It's time to duel, as they say.
As they say, it's like the show isn't even trying to hide the popularity of Yugi's It's Time to Duel.
Spear Dragon!
Spear Dragon's Potbelly.
Before I take my turn, I'll activate my trap card. Solemn Wishes. Now I'll draw.
Leichter, the reason this phase is called the draw phase is because you started off by drawing your card. You don't get to activate all this bullshit beforehand. Look at Kaiba's ears. At this point, he can hear Leichter's strategy coming.
Mask of Perplexity.
Ugh, what is this? I can hardly see!
The Mask of Perplexity physically blinds the opponent.
Spear Dragon, attack that card!
It looks like you've attacked your own monster.
That's what I was aiming for, you foolish old man.
Ha! You missed! I never miss. Cliche.
My all-powerful crush card trap!
Evil laugh cliche.
Now I know what monster you are, Leichter. The only monster I know with the power to destroy trap cards!
Yes!
Ugh, never show me up close Jinzo again. I'm not a big fan of big veiny heads in my face. So all Leichter did was pull on this bit of shoulder pad, and that allowed him to fully remove his entire coat, tie, mask, goggles, and hat whilst also leaving the duel disc on his arm. Also, this quick identity reveal was indeed very quick, but I still can't let go of the fact that Leichter had a mask under another mask.
As your stepfather's right-hand man, I not only helped run Kaiba Corp, I helped raise you.
So, do all COOs have to also raise the CEO's kid, or did Gosaburo briefly forget what the Big Five's jobs were?
I'll never forgive you for that.
Flashback. Leichter is built like a JoJo character, with a huge torso and tiny head.
Hobson, present Seto with his gift of $10 million. You have exactly 1 year to return the money to me. Is that clear? But you must pay me 10 times that amount next year.
Wow. Kaiba's origin story is literally Donald Trump's. It has not been easy for me, and you know, I started off in Tokyo, my father gave me a small loan of $10 million, I came into Kaiba Corp, and I had to pay him back. I had to pay him back with interest.
This is all explained in your contract.
Dad, I think maybe Hobson spilled water all over the contract. Kaiba has the cancer floodgate trap that we all know and hate in Imperial Order, and weirdly enough in Exodia the Forbidden One.
There are 100 cards here, right? Now pretend each card represents a piece of a company.
Yeah?
Well, this is where it all becomes a game. The trick is to own more cards than anyone else. If you can do that, you'll control the company.
Talk about grossly oversimplified. Evidently, Kaiba played one game of Monopoly and said, this is surely how the business world works.
Is it gonna make you all the money you need?
That's a good question.
Kaiba has a very deep voice for a 10-year-old.
Why should I buy the company back at 10 times the price?
Because if you don't, I'll shut this place down, leaving all your employees jobless.
You are horrible, and you leave me with no choice.
And insanely, this exploitative, unethical, and illegal business strategy works.
With my help, you made 10 times your money back in that 1 day, and you got all the credit.
Well,
did Kaiba record a rap album or something after getting the money? Because this shot of him with the coat, briefcase, and raining money would make a perfect cover. Kaiba gon' give it to you. Waiting for you to get it on your own. Kaiba gon' deliver it to you. Knock, knock, open up the door. I'm here with the non-stop blue eyes and secret rares. Also, I feel like Leichter deserves at least a little bit of credit here for finding a company that is apparently run by a wet noodle who gets steamrolled by a bluff from a random 10-year-old with zero business experience.
When my giant germ was destroyed, its special ability was activated, allowing me to summon another one!
For some reason, Kaiba uses Giant Germ's effect here and only brings out one more from the deck. Now, unless Kaiba got super unlucky and opened a second copy in his hand, this play means that Kaiba only runs 2 copies of Giant Germ, or willingly summoned only 1 more. Either way, he is trash.
Let the onslaught continue!
Leichter's supposed onslaught consists of 4 set cards and a trap card that boosts life points.
Go, Seto!
Mokuba would rather stay here and watch this game rather than find a way out of this place.
You'll never recuperate from the blow I...
Behind this card that nobody knows the effect of is Polymerization and Thunder Dragon. So why is Kaiba not discarding it to search 2 more and then play the Poly to make Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon? Evil laugh cliche.
Good thing we found this virtual pickup truck.
I mean, Nesbit got kicked through a wall and found a motorcycle inside of it. Then Kaiba apparently pulled one out of his arse because it didn't even show where he found his motorcycle, so it makes absolute sense that this bullshit 3-wheeled truck would fall out of the freaking sky for your speedy pursuit.
It should help us to find the...
Joey is a d*** for hitting the brakes this hard.
Activating infrared sighting beam.
Keep in mind that this trading card just got launched into space, deployed a bunch of Elon Musk doodads, and activated a targeting system to target Kaiba. Also cool, we got satellite cannon. And Leichter actually uses this card pretty nicely in this duel in my opinion, but Blader Smosh would like to take a moment to remind us of how Prince was like a satellite cannon master in GX with his OTK strategy built around this card. Which was pretty cool, and he actually probably could have won that duel too if Sartorius wasn't so...
The one upside to having your mind trapped in the body of a robot monkey is getting to hang out in Serenity's arms all day.
We're looking for Tristan, remember?
She's so cute when she acts tough. And the best part is, all she can think about is trying to find me.
There's a couple of things about this scene with Monkey Tristan that I need to point out. First thing is that I think it's actually kind of funny at how over the moon he is to be held in Serenity's arms, but unfortunately the harmless stuff kind of wears off there when we look at the sub. Yeah, Yugioh is surely wild in the sub, and since Serenity is 13 and the sister of his pal, this is pretty on multiple fronts, and honestly, I'd rather give this guy 25 to life, but since I'm not a cop, I'll just give this perv Monkey Tristan 50 sins, and tack on an extra 21 for Spartan117's YouTube comment, and Blader Smosh's comment on my Discord server.
I mean, maybe Serenity really likes me. Not that I can exactly blame her. Let's face it, I'm way cooler than that Romeo wannabe Duke Devil.
Apparently the Big Five installed a speakerphone switch in the back of Monkey Tristan's head so he can hilariously say stupid, or in the sub, creepy, stuff out loud like this.
I may start chowing on bananas and bugs.
Tristan?
Are you in there?
Did I just say that out loud?
Come here.
Taking into account the context behind the original words Tristan said here about Serenity, it now makes perfect sense why Joey is taking every single opportunity to just manhandle Monkey Tristan like this. I mean, as a big brother, this is a reasonable crash out if I've ever seen one. And don't worry, I'm gonna add a bunch of sins here, but I'm gonna tack on a few more for Spartan117 and Blader Smosh's comments too. They also cut out this scene of Duke also giving Monkey Tristan the business. Revenge for that time Tristan coughed all over him, I suppose. They censored Injection Fairy Lily's needle. I don't understand. It's just a needle. Did one of the animators cry all the time when they went to get shots as a child and just couldn't bring themselves to animate a needle here?
Destroy his behemoth!
You've overlooked my monster's special ability. It makes a quick recovery.
Kaiba channeling his inner Yami Yugi and freaking cheating here because Twin-Headed Behemoth's ability doesn't trigger until the end phase. And since Leichter is still going, take 2 sins for this Twin-Headed Behemoth bullshit.
Emergency provisions!
What the hell? I share Fairy Lily's reaction here because Emergency Provisions is a giant scary snake monster coming out to eat the face-down cards? Talk about misleading. The card artwork shows like survival crackers and biscuits, not this.
Kaiba!
Yugi!
You see, I told you all the way back in the Ishizu episode, this is just how they always talk to each other.
Kaiba!
Yugi!
Kaiba!
Yugi!
Kaiba!
Yugi!
Kaiba! Yugi! This is literally the way they speak to each other all the time.
It's Jinzo! Kaiba's trap cards are totally useless!
Oh no! It's like dueling with half a deck!
And if it was Odeon dueling Leichter, he wouldn't be able to use his deck at all because it's... yeah. Also, apparently the person that tied up Monkey Tristan didn't do a very good job because he's free now, apparently.
Oh well.
Ah, what the... Why did Kaiba randomly decide to do a Merrick impersonation all of a sudden?
My Heavy Storm magic card!
I activate Imperial Order!
Oh no!
Oh yes, Mr. Kaiba. For a mere 700 life points per turn, this card cancels out all your magic cards.
What is Leichter's deck? It's actually good? With the life point boost strategy that powers Injection Fairy Lily Beatdown, as ridiculous as that sounds, and now using this card that turns off spells, which frankly still tormented people up until it was finally banned in the real world, and even he himself being a monster that just turns off traps? I hate to say it, but aside from Gansley, Leichter is the best duelist of the Big Five. Even Noah himself is self-aware to this fact.
Finally, one of the Big Five can hold his own in a duel.
And as if that's not enough, I also have comments from Jertra and Blader Smosh on this too, because they also acknowledge that Leichter is the final boss of the Big Five.
I can finally unleash the power of my own.
I'm gonna take a send-off here for them actually having the decency to cover up this close-up of Jinzo's creepy veiny face with Leichter's face instead. Is this a JoJo reference?
Begin firing sequence! When you took over Kaiba Corp, you destroyed all of the missiles that your stepfather and I worked so hard to build. So it's quite fitting that I use this satellite missile to destroy you.
My wicked worm beast!
All that dramatic music, ominous talk, and giant laser beam to kill a monster with 700 defense points.
My satellite cannon is virtually unreachable.
I never heard of a duel monster that can attack from outer space.
Well, Joey, allow me to introduce you to number 9 Dyson Sphere, and it was even bigger than this thing. Also, Leichter is doing the Mako Tsunami thing of, since my monsters are in a swimming pool, you can't see it and therefore can't hit it. But with a satellite in space. Fine, you then. Then I guess you can't hit my Danger Mothman since it's too dark in this cave we're dueling in. Hahaha, I'm so skilled. Hope you brought a flashlight.
Your treachery began.
My birds are saying flashback.
Shadow, as Kaiba Corp's board of directors, we're curious.
Gansley's voice sounds weirdly different, and while Gansley would be a bit younger in this flashback, which would actually make this a pretty cool detail as to why he sounds different, it's negated by Kaiba sounding like how he does now as a 10-year-old.
You liar! Get out of my sight!
I'll never forget that. The most horrible day of my life.
That was the worst day of your life? What about how you just got gut punched and kidnapped just a couple minutes ago? And what about the other time when you got kidnapped with Taya? And even when you got your soul stolen and locked away at Duelist Kingdom? Talk about short-term memory loss.
And as for you, Five, as punishment for betraying me, you're all fired! And I'll make sure you never work in this town again!
Gozaburo, yeah, there's no easy way to say this, but actually they're your board of directors and are in charge of hiring and firing in the business, so if anything, they can just fire you, so just thought you should know that. And hilariously, I feel like the Big Five also knows this themselves. I mean, just look at them. They're standing there in the back like statues while this whole thing just plays out in front of them.
Not what? I'm giving my 2% of Kaiba Corp straight to you.
Mokuba ex machina.
Gozaburo was so ashamed that he ran away, and no one's heard from him since.
Yeah, he ran away. What kind of grown man runs away? Well, it's no secret that he didn't run as much as he did jump! Gozaburo said, might as well jump.
You used Mokuba as a pawn. You began leaking information about your plan to Gozaburo and made everyone, including him, think it was Mokuba. So your stepfather let you gain 49% of his company, thinking Mokuba would give him the 2% he needed to stay in control.
Well, it sounds to me like Kaiba was just the smarter person in this exchange. He knew that Gozaburo was going to be a douche and let Kaiba think that he was going to barely lose the 51% majority with Mokuba in his pocket, but always knew that Mokuba would side with him to perfectly let him get the majority in the end. Sure, maybe the brother abuse may have been a little bit uncalled for, so he gets some sins for that, just for fairness, but he needed to sell that shit. So I'm actually going to give Kaiba 2 sins off for the big brain plays here. Also, on the subject of Kaiba pushing down Mokuba, they snipped it out in the first scene, but weirdly kept it for the second scene.
You used me, just like you use everyone, including your little brother.
This is a big point here. Leichter's motive for wanting to destroy Kaiba. And I gotta say, I don't get it. Like I said before, Leichter is a member of the board, and I have this comment from Total Drama WWE talking about how a part of Leichter's motivation here is because Kaiba stabbed him in the back despite his loyalty with a demotion. But again, Leichter's a member of the board. He and the Big Five are technically more powerful than the president of Kaiba Corp since they control that shit. And Leichter may sound like he opposes Kaiba's treatment of Mokuba in the flashback, but that's a ploy to get Mokuba on Noah's side anyway here. And let's not forget that Leichter and everyone else just stood there like statues while this played out as well. The Big Five were also in it for themselves, and Kaiba was just better than them in the long run, even though they almost succeeded that one time once before. But nonetheless, I will still be awarding sins off for the story here, because I'm sure we can all agree it's pretty good.
Look, Leichter, life is a game, and if you can't win it, then don't play.
Again, this might seem pretty heartless on the surface, but literally everything Kaiba did was to get him and his little brother out of the crap they were in. He was like a father to Mokuba, and I'm sure that the parents in the audience can agree that you do anything for your kid. And this ruthlessness and seeing life as a game you need to win is also very close to manga Kaiba, and I'm here for it. Kaiba drawing and playing his cards in such an exaggerated manner that he strikes multiple JoJo poses, and even appears to have broken his elbow in this one.
Spirit Ryu!
Oh god, give me strength. Kaiba is one of those people that would pronounce Ryu's name as Ryu. This might seem like a minor complaint, but come on, if you're gonna pronounce his name as Ryu, how come you don't call it Sho Ryuken?
It's time for Spirit Ryu's special ability. He gains an extra 1,000 attack points for each dragon I discard from my hand.
Spirit Ryu can only discard one monster, you can't discard two. Which means you lost by attacking into a bigger monster like a true moron, Seto Kaiba.
If Leichter can't restore his life points, then his whole dueling strategy goes down the drain.
Ah, that nightmare face came out of absolutely nowhere! And just when I was gonna look past this one that lasted for only a single solitary frame, I'm actually gonna go back and change my mind and give that one 10 sins as per usual, and add 20 more for this one that is actually really freaking scary.
First, I'll activate my Pot of Greed card.
Not only does Kaiba do more impossible broken arm poses and using this card that I have no idea what it does, but the way he's holding the card itself looks like he's flipping off Leichter, which is hilarious. Matter of fact, I think I'm actually going to try and Photoshop this to try and make it so that it looks like he's actually flipping you off, and if I do, I'm going to add it as an emote in my Discord server. So, here's hoping I succeeded.
I'll take down your little space cannon.
Most monsters could never reach that high.
Oh, man. Does Kaiba have a monster strong enough to crush that thing? There may be one in his deck.
Why is everyone acting like Kaiba's ace monster isn't the blue-eyes white dragon that can fly?
Lord of Dragons allows me to summon any dragon from my hand. Now I'll sacrifice both of my monsters.
What do you think you're doing, Mr. Kaiba?
Cheating? Because he just set and tribute summon in the same turn. And sure, he used the Lord of Dragons Deckmaster ability just then, but he didn't say that it lets him tribute summon, he just said it lets him bring out a dragon from his hand. And even the sub says that it's a special summon, so what is this tributing malarkey?
I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon!
Woohoo! Kaiba's gonna win the duel because now he finally has the out to Leichter satellite cannon. But I still can't look past the fact that it's really stupid that he didn't just pick the Blue Eyes White Dragon to be his deckmaster, because he could have just brought it to the field outright instead of doing all these extra steps first. Jinzo's pulsating head veins is certainly something we did not wish to see today.
You should have known better than to challenge me. Now, my Blue Eyes, finish him off with White Lightning Attack!
This moment where Blue Eyes flies up and destroys the satellite cannon is radical. And I'm not the only one that thinks so. We have Spartan 117 and Blader Smosh also highlighting this as well, with Blader Smosh even saying the sub sounds even better with the track it uses. And boy, is he right! Can we just talk about how long Jinzo's neck is? Because my guy's a straight-up baby giraffe. Noah is so mad at this turn of events that his blue eyes turned black.
Satellite cannon, begin firing sequence.
Me being scared because you make me feel safe.
I do? I mean, of course, you're always in good hands with me.
Dude, she means both of us.
Well, actually, she did not, because one, she said that to Tristan, and two, what part of that you in you make me feel safe, which is singular, would imply that she meant both, as in both of you, which is plural.
Guys, come on, don't fight.
Girl makes quarreling boys stop fighting over her shit.
So they're not only after Kaiba, Yugi, and Joey. They may also want to duel against us.
So what?
So what? So everything. Is Tristan really that deluded to the point he's thinking that he can actually beat the Big Five with the Cyber Commander? I mean, look at this thing. Look at this thing. Even Johnson's monsters laugh at it.
Don't you know that Tristan taught my brother Joey everything about dueling?
What? What else did you tell this poor girl about your soup?
And Serenity's gonna go ahead and just ignore this blatant attempt to silence Duke's exposure of Tristan's lies.
Defeating the Big Five will be like a walk in the park.
That laugh.
Oh, it's too bright to see!
The average Yu-Gi-Oh player's reaction to sunlight.
It's some kind of giant robot or something!
Nesbit makes his entrance as if he's a robot master in Mega Man 2. I mean, seriously, come on. I mean, that's what it is. I mean, we just need the music.
Greetings, humans. Allow me to introduce myself. In the outside world, I was known as Nesbit.
And for some reason... to instant transmission, or at the very least, run very fast to go do just that by now, Yugi? The way I freaking said Yugi. Yugi? He's gonna do that by now, Yugi. And even trying to do some phony air assassination run amok from Ezio Auditore, but with a wooden sword. Did I just call Assassin's Creed Ezio Auditore? And Kaiba whips out his and Kaiba whips out. I'm just saying, no matter what you say, if you say that you're gonna whip out something, it just... it will always sound wrong. Looks like I'm gonna have another $1 million idea to run by the new board of directors... oh my god, Kaiba. Stop! Serenity is unaware... Did my voice break? God, 25. Serenity is blissfully unaware that a monkey's strength is actually very, very strong. Well put, Prodigy. His strength is very strong. And to be frank, or even to be Luke... Luke Skywalker. Prince was like a satellite cannon master in GX with an Okite. They censored injection Fairy Little's niddle. Wow, that was a bad one. I sound like I was trying to say, hey diddle diddle, the cat and the fiddle. I'm gonna take a sit off here for them actually putting Leichter's face in front of this close-up. And boy, is he right! Oh, my freaking throat. I was like, boy, is he right!